saying everything.
Yeah, I think it just shows his willingness to learn and be open-minded, because obviously when you're like that talented and you have that much experience, it can be easy to just kind of shut off everything and go with your normal approach and routine. But I think he's done a great job of just being very open-minded and asking a ton of questions, not only to me, but to all the whole coaching staff with everything being installed with Coach K. So I think he's done a great job. And he's also bringing the young guys along. And I think he's a great mentor for all of them.
What do you think of THON LEs? What kind of teammate is he?
For the kids, bro. Thank you. Wow. The value of the ball went up $1 million. Thank you.
I don't know about that.
Thank you, brother.
When we talked to you a couple weeks ago at the bowling thing, you had mentioned that you got to know Coach K, but you didn't get to work with him a lot. What have these last couple of weeks been like once he's gone off the road recruiting?
Yeah, they've been really productive. Obviously, the offensive staff is meeting a ton, just going through what we're going to call stuff, what we're going to deem that we're going to keep from last year, what we're going to expand on, what we're going to change the rules of. So those meetings have been great. He's been great just kind of asking all the quarterbacks' opinions on things, quizzing us when he gets a chance to quiz us. And I love being around Coach K. He brings a great energy to our offensive unit, and I think he just allows us to be ourselves and, kind of play to our strengths and play with freedom, but he's also going to, allow us to play fast. By one of his big things is eliminating variables for us, and he doesn't want us to think, he wants us to just go out, play, and react. I think he's done a great job of that already. For me personally, like offensively, it's a lot more learning on the front end, but it allows us to do a lot more things at the end of the day. So it's going to be a lot of investment from now and throughout spring ball, of just learning everything that we're calling it, what we're calling everything, and all the different tags that we can get into. But I think it's going to allow us to do a lot more different things in the end game, like when we get into fall camp and into the season, which will be really good for us.
How much are those continuity factors important to you? And I kind of went over them, but how does the verbiage and all that stuff work for you at your position in order to kind of accelerate the learning process for the whole offense? Yeah,
I think the verbiage is definitely the most important piece, just because one of the big things Coach Franklin told the whole offensive unit when he hired Coach K was he wasn't hiring Coach K to come in and revamp the whole offense and just give us his playbook from Kansas and all the previous stops he's been at. They're doing what's best for Penn State and us as an offense. So honestly, it's a lot of carryover from last year. Some tweaks and changes, like kind of simplifying some things down, like putting things into more like family groupings to make it easier for us to learn and pick up on. And so that's been great so far. But verbiage is definitely key, just because when I'm calling the play in the huddle or however we're doing it this year, as soon as you hear that one word as a receiver, okay, you got to do this now as opposed to this. So I think it's just a lot more tags. Again, it's a lot more learning up on the front end, but it's going to allow us to do a lot more things in the end and just be more versatile and switch things up for the defense.
Jackson mentioned earlier this week formations are a big part of what you guys are doing right now and part of that learning process. What's your opinion on how do you feel about that stuff, and does it excite you that there's going to be it seems like a lot of variety in the offense?
Yeah, I'm very excited because I'm obviously football junkie. I love to play football, but I also love to watch football. And watching obviously I'm just going to go with the most recent game, the Super Bowl, Kansas City and San Francisco. Just watching those offenses operate and the two quarterbacks they both have just operate in that offense and just make plays that are within the system. And then obviously they're both special, creating things out of the system, but just those systems allow the players to play so free. And obviously the game-winning touchdown with that motion that they ran the past 2 years in the Super Bowl is something that's just very cool to watch, and just how hard you can make it on defenses with shifts, motions, and everything. Because on offense, we want to be on offense. We don't want to be the ones reacting. We want to make the defense react to us. And I think Coach K is going to do that just with all the motions and shifts he's done in his past.
Did you break that down with Coach K, that Super Bowl game?
I haven't watched the Super Bowl game yet. I started watching Kansas City again the week after they won, or this past week, kind of just going back through and watching their offense, trying to pick up on some themes just throughout the year, because Danny is a huge football junkie, so he's broken down literally, I'm not kidding, like at least 10 to 12 teams this year already, like fully broken down. Him and a couple of the other analysts have done, like, just love doing that. And I'll just go through and watch all those cut-ups, just stuff that we have in on our offense and hopefully getting in this year that kind of fits our whole offense. So I kind of just love watching those systems because of how the NFL is like a lot of the West Coast, like Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan tree right now. And everything is pretty similar to each other, but they all have one-offs on each other, and it's really cool just to see the minor differences and just how they kind of all pluck from each other.
So do you think there's similarities between those systems, that Kyle Shanahan's zone systems, and what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I think so, because Coach K has obviously he played O-line, and when he first got into coaching, he was a up-front O-line tight end guy. And I think it also, like being a explosive offense is being balanced. You have to be able to throw the ball when you want to and be able to run the ball when you want to. I think Coach K's past has shown that just with his numbers, just looking at the analytics he's had in his past years as a coordinator. They're a very well-balanced offense. Like, I don't know what the splits are with that stuff, but they're also very explosive in both the run and pass game. I think that just is a testament to like just being around them these short few months of how detailed they are and how slow we're taking things, even though we could just throw a bunch of stuff at us as players and say, here, learn this, but they're taking it very slow and making sure we're installing everything very detail-oriented, which is something that I really like personally, and I think it's just been really good for our offense so far.
How do you build that relationship with Julian? Like, what are you guys doing away from the field? Are you living together, or are you...
No, we don't live together.
Okay.
He's off campus, I'm on campus still, but it's really just whenever we're in the locker room, just catching up, kind of just talking whatever. It doesn't even have to be about football. And then when we're out here on the field, just talking through routes, just kind of getting our connection down. And then after, like, there's been a couple of times this year where the quarterbacks and receivers we'll just sit down on the field and be talking for like half hour, 45 minutes after we're done throwing. And I think that's been really good for us this year, just kind of getting just building more of a connection away from football, if that makes sense.
Is that something you think you lacked a little bit last year? One of the
I wouldn't say lacked. I think it's just something where last year we didn't do this. I think last year was a big year for me to learn what to do and what not to do with this time. And I think, I just learned from last year what I would want to do going into this year and what I don't want to do going into this year. And I think it's just been a total buy-in effort so far from the whole offensive unit, and I think that's been the biggest thing for us this year. We're attacking this with 100% of our effort, and we're just taking it a day at a time right now.
How was that relationship kind of developed with Tyler Warren, after a second year with him?
Yeah, obviously Tyler's a great player, but also he's a great teammate. He's a real mentor for not only the tight ends on our team, but like our whole offense. He approaches everything like he's a pro. He doesn't talk too much to the team or anything like that, but his work ethic is second to none on this team. Nobody will ever question his toughness and his leadership abilities, just from all the times he's played through small nicks and bruises his career here. And I have nothing but respect for him, and he's going to have a big year for us this year.